Hi, this is Michelle Burney with Uncovering Your Radiance Within. And this week's message has to do with finding stillness. And I know I've talked before about motion and exercise and getting your body moving. But really, yes, your body does want motion, it needs to get moving. But your mind needs stillness. And this is a really important practice for your mental health, but for a lot of reasons. And I'll share some of those with you, but stillness. So, what do I mean by this? Um, it could mean sitting absolutely still, but it's really just stilling time. Life goes by so fast and things are moving and doing. We're constantly in motion. And finding that stillness could be a brief moment when you just stop. And it's really that awareness. It's awareness of the now. It's presence. It's mindfulness. These words all kind of mean the same thing. It's that awareness of where you are right now. You're not thinking about the future. You're not doing. You're not in a hurry. You're not worried about something in the past, but you are currently in the now. And we don't spend enough time in our now. Like I said, we're thinking about the future. We're thinking about the past. And it's that voice in our head that, is questioning things or telling us, you got to do this, you need to do this, or let's do this, or even that part of us, some of us just need to have constant noise in the background. The TV, the radio, you don't know what to do with stillness. But I encourage you to embrace those moments of stillness, whether it be just sitting at the table or getting up early in the morning is one really nice place to find that stillness, before your kids do. But in talking about this stillness, like, what are some of the benefits of this awareness, stillness, mindfulness? Well, when you start to get rid of the noise, physical noise, it could be, like I said, the TV, the radio, things like that. But it's really the noise of your head, the noise of your thoughts. When you can try to get rid of all those thoughts that seem to be running your world and running your mind, that allows your true inner voice to come through. Call it your intuition, call it like I said, your inner voice, but you can start to really hear yourself. And I can attest that this has been happening more for me, and my world has slowed down a lot. My kids are grown. I only have one at home, and he's hardly here. And I do have a lot of moments of stillness, and I'll share some examples of how I try to incorporate, mindfully, purposefully incorporate stillness into my world. But when you really try to quiet all that noise, you can really start to hear yourself. And that's something that's buried within us, I think, for too many of us for too long. And by doing that, becoming aware in that moment, like I said, just kind of being present in that moment, start to tune into your emotions. Like, where are you right now? Are you upset? Are you frustrated? Are you stressed? Are you hurried? What are you really feeling in this moment? And trying to, acknowledge those emotions, but maybe let them go. Maybe acknowledge any physical sensations. And I'll share some ways to really, feel what is your body feeling in this moment. Maybe it's just becoming more aware of your surroundings. And I'll share some examples of that. But in doing so, it really allows you to tap into your creativity. And this was one of my first videos about finding your creative side, those new ideas, those new perspectives, maybe not new, but kind of what's been deep within you, listening to yourself, listening to your intuition. And there are physical benefits. There are a lot of, studies out there of the benefits of mindfulness and benefits of some of the things I'll talk about, like breathing and meditation. But mindfulness, the stillness, can help reduce stress. It can help reduce depression, anxiety symptoms, can lower blood pressure, can help you sleep better, can help focus and memory and concentration, all those mental kind of states. It just overall puts your body in a more relaxed state. And overall, that's better for you physiologically, mentally. It's better for your digestion. All those things can function better if you're not in this tense state of emotion. When you're in that relaxed state, then all those processes, that fight or flight, that reactive kind of thing, the cortisol levels can decrease and allows your body to do things better. Like I said, process things better, as well as your mind. So some ideas for finding stillness is just one of them. An easy one is just to stop and breathe. that sometimes, maybe it's when you're getting overwhelmed, or maybe you just set a timer, or maybe, just every time you pick up and check your phone. This is something my functional doctor suggested to me. She said that, every time you pick up your phone, literally have it in your hand, take a moment and just deep breathe. And there's different breathing strategies. You can just acknowledge your breath. Think inhale, exhale. And the fact of you just acknowledging your breath, of you controlling your breath, helps to bring it to a more relaxed state, but it also puts you into the moment now, into you. There's 4-7-8 breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold it for 7, and release for 8. There's 4 square breathing, where you inhale for 4, hold for 4, release for 4, hold for 4. So there's all kinds of different breathing methods out there, but something to try, especially if you just feel yourself in an emotional state maybe you don't want to be in. If you start to feel yourself starting to get stressed, or where you don't want to quite be, bring yourself back to this moment and use your breathing to really calm yourself down and to bring you into the now. It really helps to get your mentality into where you are now. Another way is just checking in with yourself. So maybe it's associated with breathing, but maybe it's just checking in. Like I said, every time, a certain anchor, you pick up your phone, that's your anchor. Every time I pick up my phone, I'm just going to check in. Okay, what am I doing? How am I feeling? Where are my emotions? Am I stressed? If you find yourself, too often in a negative state, you're stressed, you're angry, you're frustrated, then it's maybe time to really start reframing, and that's a whole nother deal. But just to acknowledge, where are you at? Where are your emotions throughout most of the day? Are you feeling rushed? Are you feeling tired? Where are your emotions? Just checking in, be here now. You could say a mantra to yourself, be here now. Every hour, you can set your timer. Every hour, okay, be here now. And take a moment, just acknowledge where I am. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to check in with myself. I'm going to feel my feet on the floor, and my sitting in my chair. I'm going to feel my body. I'm going to feel a little tension in my back as I sit in this position, just kind of being here now. And that brings up these affirmations. And it could just be an affirmation is something that you say to yourself. I said, be here now. Just a little reminder, be here now. Or I am relaxed, or I am relaxing, or let's relax. Just saying certain mantras to yourself, those words that you can repeat to yourself, can bring you to that more relaxed state, can help bring you to this now. Release those emotions, try to release the negative emotions, help you control your breathing, that kind of thing. In terms of meditation, so meditation is hard, and I think it turns a lot of people away, because they're like, oh, I can't do that, I can't sit totally still, I can't clear my mind. And it really isn't about totally clearing your mind. It's about taking time to allow your mind to try to encourage it to stop thinking. But if you do have thoughts, it's okay, acknowledge it, and you try to push them away, and you see kind of what's there in between those thoughts. But there are a lot of meditation apps that you can try, and I highly encourage that. I've that was a goal of mine, and I'm not daily, but I'm getting better. I use Insight Timer. It's a free app. It even keeps track of how many times I've checked in, how many days in a row. And I find different, 4 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, could be 15 minutes. But really, where I've been finding that I've been using it on a regular basis is after work, in the 3 o'clock hour, 4 o'clock hour. Just to refresh. Like that, I get home and I feel like, oh my gosh, I just need a nap. And what I've been finding myself doing is, like, I'm going to do a meditation, and I come out of it feeling refreshed, feeling like my mind is like cleansed, and like the day is washed away, and I feel more energized, honestly. So I do this a lot of times after work, even before, after work, before I go to the gym, as a little transition into re-energizing myself. But I use Insight Timer. I even use it sometimes to fall asleep. If I want to fall asleep, there's Yoga Nidra that I really enjoy for like helping your body fall asleep. But there's ones that'll be labeled, meditation for energy, and you can look up by time, a certain amount of time you want to do it by. I really enjoy body scans, and that's Yoga Nidra does this too, where you check in with parts of your body, and you can feel that sensation, feel your feet, it could be as specific as your big toe, and then this toe, and this, and really focusing your concentration there. That puts you in the present moment. It creates that stillness in your body, stillness in your mind. All those other thoughts, your worries and things are out of the way, and you're focusing on where you are now, and you're learning to acknowledge your body. What is your body feeling? And the body scans are really cool sensations. Um, Another thing is a color walk. And I was taught this strategy. Nature can be really, really great for, finding this stillness, this awareness, this mindfulness. Nature can be really great for this. And a color walk is, if you like to walk, is to pick a color and to, on this walk, I'm going to look for orange. And it really tunes you into that moment, into where you are, the here and the now, so that you're looking around for orange. And it really makes you notice things. I used to like photography for this reason. I would walk with my camera. I had a good camera, and I would take walks and hikes and things. And I would just be looking for these photographic moments, for what could I photograph? But it made me in that moment. It made me there in the present, and I'm really observing nature, observing the trees, observing the clouds. But back to that color walk example, my husband had a heart procedure recently, and I was sitting outside. I didn't want to wait in the waiting room. I hate air conditioning. I like to be warm. I was in Texas when he had it done in Texas, and it was about 88 degrees outside. And I chose to go sit outside in the sun, like on the lawn, actually on this little step thing. And I went and sat outside, and it was pretty busy area. And what I chose to do was this. I didn't do a color walk. I did a color watch. And I just said, okay, yellow, where's their yellow? And I scanned all my point of view, like, oh, I didn't even notice that there. And oh, there's yellow over here. And then I went from color to color to color. And it was such a cool feeling. I felt so observant, because sometimes I think I'm just not observant. Like, I'm so busy, you're going through motions and you're going, really fast. And I really just slowed everything down, and I could pick out, okay, there's red and there's red. And I'm looking around, and it really was very peaceful. And like I said, it made me very observant. And I was there in that moment. I wasn't thinking about things. I wasn't worrying about things, but I was there in that moment. I really like that strategy, whether you're sitting and just looking out over your backyard and looking around for where can you find purple, what around me is purple. Or if you're out walking, taking a walk around your neighborhood, pick a color for the day, blue. And you're on this search for, like, what can you find blue? And I find that a really strong, kind of powerful, simple thing. It sounds like something you tell like kindergartners to do, but it is great for your mind to bring you again into that moment where you're not thinking and worrying about everything else, but you're in that moment and you're really being observant of the world around you. Um, I know last time I talked about time management, I didn't really mention morning time or possibly evening time, depending on your schedule, depending on maybe when your kids wake up. I knew when my kids were younger, they were waking me up. So I found that I've had more evening time, and now they sleep in late. So I have more morning time. But even allowing yourself, wake up 10, 15 minutes earlier than you normally do, and give yourself 10 to 15 minutes of just you in silence, whatever you choose to do with it, whether it's just to sit and drink coffee and look out the window, that's awesome. Whether it's just to kind of give yourself some pep talk, those affirmations, it's going to be a good day, I'm going to have a good day, or I'm in control of my day, just to start out with that you time, that quiet time in the morning. Or if you do it in the evening, it could be to unwind. Like, I'm grateful for my day. I'm going to let go of anything negative. I have gratitude for this day. I have gratitude for this day. And just to let go all the other thoughts, sit in silence, not with your phone, all those times. Where can you find time? This was part of time management. Where can you find time to do this? I challenge you, when you go to pick up your phone because you need something to do to fill a couple minutes, just sit and observe. Like, sit, and it may look weird that you're sitting doing nothing. I find myself in waiting rooms. I'm a weird one, not without a phone in my hand, but just kind of sitting and observing yourself, and where are your thoughts, and controlling your breathing, controlling your breath. And this will bring about, so, like I said, I mentioned a lot of physical benefits and mental, emotional benefits, but I really feel this has brought about more clarity, more creativity in my world. I will just come up with these ideas and things. And I think it's because I'm learning to clear out the clutter more often, where I'm getting these messages from my inner self, these creative thoughts, and creating my life and creating my future, and just different perspectives and new things. And I get ideas for my videos like in those quiet times, and I'll grab my notebook and like go write things down. But I will get like, oh, I need to say this, or I should talk about this. And some of my creativity comes from those really quiet moments. So This week's message is to find that stillness. I mentioned a few different ways, but take that time, put the phone down, shut the radio off. Music is great, but sometimes we just need that stillness just to be with you. Try to clear those thoughts. Maybe try meditation, try just a breathing technique, try something, try that color walk, a color watch, just to bring yourself in the moment. Clear those voices from your head, clear all that noise, and start to listen to who you really are inside. And let that self, that radiant self, really shine from within. So, this is Michelle Burney with Uncovering Your Radiance Within, encouraging you to find that stillness.